Wait, hold up. Come back to the screen right now if you're a Dodger fan, if you bleed blue and gold, if every MLB rumor hits you like a 100 miles per hour fastball straight to the ribs. Because what dropped today? It's not just a rumor, it's a full-blown earthquake shaking the foundations of baseball. The first projections for the 2026 World Series are out, and guess who's popping up as a surprise contender? The Chicago Cubs. Yeah, Chicago. The team that's been rebuilding for what feels like forever, suddenly eyeing a ring? And let me tell you, this isn't just noise, it's a direct shot at the most dominant, most hated, most unstoppable force in MLB, the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you're not furious yet, buckle up because this could be the conspiracy that ends an era. Picture this, Dodger Stadium packed, the crowd roaring, and then, bam, the Cubs steal the show. Is this hype or is it real? Let's dive in, no holds barred, and expose the chaos. Alright folks, let's break this down step by step because the sports books aren't messing around and neither am I. We're talking 2026 World Series odds, the kind that make or break fan bases. DraftKings has the Cubs at plus 2,200 for the title, 12th overall in MLB. FanDuel? Plus 2,500, sneaking into 11th spot. Officially labeled as a playoff team, sure, but outside the top 10 heavyweights. Here's the crazy part. In baseball, once you hit October, the game's rigged. The playoffs turn underdogs into monsters. The Cubs. They're not just sneaking in, they're being hyped as a dark horse with real teeth. Why the outrage? Because this isn't random. It's a market shift, a backroom whisper that's got Dodger fans screaming, "Not on our watch," and rival execs salivating like sharks smelling blood. People are furious, fans are flooding forums with rants, media's calling it CubsCon 2.0, and front offices are scrambling like it's Game 7. But why now? Why Chicago? Let's peel back the layers because if you're a Dodgers diehard, this hits different. Imagine waking up to this. Your dynasty, your back-to-back champs, suddenly with a target bigger than ever. The Cubs' rise isn't just a blip, it's a narrative bomb. And here's where it gets intense. These odds aren't static. They're based on simulations, expert picks, and insider leaks. The Cubs at 12th? That means analysts see them winning a wild card, sweeping a division series, and maybe even upsetting a favorite in the LCS. But let's be real, how often does that happen without a miracle? Rhetorical question. Are the books just trolling us or is there fire behind this smoke? First, let's get the context on the Cubs because nobody becomes a surprise contender out of thin air. This team has been through the ringer, think 2025, a season of turbulence. Injuries plagued them, internal pressure mounted, and that NLDS exit against the Brewers? Game 5 a straight gut punch. It was the kind of loss that stings, the division rival stealing the spotlight. But zoom out, they still made the playoffs. No trophy, but they walked away with experience, confidence, and a core that's maturing faster than anyone expected. Jed Hoyer in the front office? He's the mastermind, the patient architect who's turned Chicago from a laughingstock into a potential powerhouse. Remember the rebuild? It started with trades, drafts, and smart acquisitions. Now it's paying dividends. On the Dodgers side? We're talking royalty. Back-to-back World Series champions under Andrew Friedman, the GM who's built a machine. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, these aren't just players, they're icons. The roster's a fortress, the mindset? Unstoppable. But here's the twist, the Cubs' youth is their secret weapon. Names like Cade Horton and Pete Crow Armstrong keep popping up in every projection. Horton's the fireballer with command that could shut down lineups. Crow Armstrong? Speed demon, elite glove, the kind of kid who changes games without swinging. Add in their defense. Metrics say it's the best in baseball, and you've got a unit that's annoying as hell to play against. And let's not forget the veterans. Nico Horner anchoring the infield, Ian Happ providing pop. This isn't a one-man show, it's a collective threat. For Dodgers fans, this background screams danger. We've seen teams like this rise before, young, hungry, and underestimated. But can they handle the Dodgers' pressure? Here's the escalating tension. If the Cubs kids step up, it's not just a threat, it's a revolution. Now let's get conspiratorial because this smells like front office manipulation, and I'm not buying the hype without digging deeper. Is this Cubs buzz just a smokescreen? A way to inflate their value in free agency, draw eyes away from their glaring weaknesses? Think about it. The Cubs' 2026 success hinges on the offseason, and whispers from league sources say they're eyeing an elite starter. Someone to plug that gaping hole in the rotation. But Kyle Tucker? Their offensive beast, the outfielder who's been a lineup anchor with 30-plus homers and elite defense? Sources are leaking that he's bolting in free agency, likely to a big spender like the Yankees or Mets. So why the sudden contender buzz? It's strategic genius from Hoyer. Pump up the Cubs, scare off rivals, and watch the Dodgers sweat. Or is it deeper? A league-wide plot to dethrone LA? Rival teams like the Orioles and Braves are lurking, but the Cubs' rise could be the distraction while others poach talent. Conspiracy alert. Are the odds makers in on it? Pushing Chicago to create chaos, force the Dodgers to overpay for reinforcements? People are whispering about competitive imbalance. MLB letting this happen to shake up the dynasty. I mean, come on, does anyone really believe the Cubs are ready without a blockbuster move? Or is this Jed Hoyer's master plan to go all in, sign a big-name arm, and steal the spotlight? Let's speculate. What if the Cubs are using these projections to lowball Tucker in negotiations, then surprise everyone with a trade? Or worse, what if MLB's analytics department is rigging the Sims to favor underdogs for viewership? Here's the question that keeps me up at night. How often do surprise contenders win without a conspiracy-level boost? And if the Cubs pull this off, is it fair, or is the league stacking the deck against the Dodgers? Let's compare this to past league patterns because history screams conspiracy, and it might predict the future. Remember the 2016 Cubs? They won it all after a rebuild, fueled by nostalgia and hype at CubsCon. Now, 2026 projections feel like a callback. Same teams, same vibes, but with a Dodger twist. Back then, they shocked the world against the Indians, turning a 108-year drought into a parade. Today, they're eyeing LA, the modern dynasty. Compared to the Dodgers' own path, we've crushed teams like the Rays and Padres in the playoffs, turning surprises into footnotes. But the Cubs' defense mirrors the Astros' 2017 juggernaut, metrics over power, turning games with glove work. And their youth? Echoes of the Braves' 2021 run, where kids like Ozzie Albies carried the load to a World Series. But here's the escalation. Unlike those teams, the Cubs are betting on unproven arms and speed without a superstar bat. Can they handle the pressure like the Dodgers do? Rhetorical question. How many surprise contenders actually win it all without a conspiracy-level boost? Think about the 2020 Dodgers, almost perfect, but the Rays nearly stole it. Now flip it, what if the Cubs emulate that Rays magic against LA? Or compare to the 2019 Astros who cheated their way to a title. Is Chicago clean, or is there something shady brewing? Fans are drawing parallels and it's fueling the fire. The outrage is real. Dodgers supporters see this as an insult, a league trying to erase their legacy. Breaking down the roster fit, let's talk positional chaos because this is where the drama explodes. The Cubs need that frontline starter desperately. Their rotation's thin, relying on veterans like Jameson Taillon and rookies like Horton. Without it, Horton's flashes mean nothing against playoff arms like the Dodgers' Urias or Glasnow. Depth. They've got it in the infield and outfield, with players like Christopher Morel providing versatility. But Tucker's exit leaves a hole in the lineup. Think 30-plus homers and 100-plus RBIs gone, dropping their run creation by 40 points. Salary dynamics? Hoyer has cap space, but overpaying for a pitcher could cripple future moves, forcing tough choices on extensions for stars like Dansby Swanson. Development concerns? Crow Armstrong's raw, but he's projected to be a star. Horton needs innings to build stamina. For the Dodgers? Our depth is insane. Ohtani at DH, Betts in RF, Freeman at 1B, the pitching staff a murderer's row. But this Cubs buzz forces us to adapt. If LA doesn't counter with a trade or signing, it could mean roster imbalances league-wide. Escalating tension. What if the Cubs snag Garrett Cole or Corbin Burns? Suddenly, their depth chart explodes and the Dodgers' dynasty looks vulnerable. Hypothetical. Imagine a Cubs lineup with Tucker staying, they'd be unstoppable. But he's leaving, so the fit feels forced. Fans are debating. Is this sustainable or just a mirage? Scouting time. Let's get granular because stats don't lie and projections can make or break dynasties. Cade Horton. Strengths? Electric stuff, mid-90s heat with a nasty slider plus command that keeps hitters guessing. Weaknesses? Durability, 2025 showed flashes but inconsistency in high-leverage spots. Projections? 15 to 20 wins if he matures with a 3.20 ERA. Stats: 3.50 ERA in minors, but MLB debut hinted at ace potential, striking out 10 per 9 innings. Pete Crow Armstrong. Elite defense, gold glove vibes with a .995 fielding percentage. 30 steal speed, instincts that turn singles into doubles and prevent runs. Weaknesses? Power stroke, only 10 to 15 HR upside, limiting his all-around impact. Projections: all-star caliber by 2026, with 25 to 30 SB and a .280 average. The Cubs unit? Best DRS in baseball, plus 50 runs saved, turning errors into outs. But Tucker's loss? Minus 40 runs created, dropping their WOBA. Dodgers counter. Ohtani's 50-50 potential, projected 45 HR, 120 RBI. Betts Gold Glove, Urias dominance, 2.10 ERA in playoffs. Scouting edge? LA wins but Cubs youth could surprise. Analysts say Chicago's defense gives them a 5 to 10% playoff edge. Can they exploit it? Rhetorical question. What if Horton becomes the next Max Scherzer? Or Crow Armstrong the next Tree Turner? The intrigue is killing me, scouts are split and fans are obsessed. Oh man, the reaction? Rival teams are losing their minds and it's a powder keg. Orioles fans? Jealous, flooding Twitter with Cubs overhyped memes. Braves execs? Scrambling because this Cubs rise threatens their own rebuild. Imagine Atlanta's kids like Acuna watching this. Mets? Laughing it off publicly, but insiders say they're eyeing Tucker, plotting a blockbuster. Yankees? Smirking, ready to pounce on free agents. Media? ESPN's blowing up with Cubs threat headlines, analysts debating on podcasts. Fans? Dodger Nation is outraged. Comment sections are wars with threats of boycotts if LA doesn't respond. Cubs fans? Euphoric but skeptical. Forums are buzzing with finally our time. Executives? Whispering about imbalance in closed-door meetings. Why the shock? Because if Chicago cashes in, it proves the league's rigged. Small markets rising while LA fights off challengers. People are furious and it's only getting louder. Imagine the headlines, Dodgers dynasty crumbling? The outrage is palpable with rival fans celebrating prematurely. Zoom out. This means everything for the season, free agency, and balance. If Cubs win big in the offseason, 2026 could be a bloodbath. Playoffs with multiple contenders gunning for LA. Free agency? Tucker to the Mets or Yankees. Chaos inflating prices for everyone. Competitive balance? MLB might love it, but dynasties like the Dodgers keep the game exciting. Conspiracy alert. Is this the league's way to force parity or just hype? For the Cubs, it's do or die. For Dodgers? Pressure cooker. What if this sparks a new arms race with teams raiding LA's farm system? The implications are massive. Could this lead to rule changes like a salary cap? Fans are terrified of imbalance and execs are plotting. Look, at the end of the day, the Chicago Cubs as a 2026 World Series threat? It's bold, it's ballsy, but it's not impossible. The Dodgers dynasty is on the line, and if Chicago pulls it off, it's a conspiracy come true. But I say LA rises, again. We've got the heart, the talent, the history. What do you think? Is this Cubs hype real, or just preseason smoke to distract from the real Kings? Drop your takes in the comments. Do you see Chicago dethroning the Dodgers, or is this just noise while LA dominates? Debate it out, argue with me, share your wild theories. If you're a true fan, subscribe to your channel name for more unfiltered breakdowns. No filter, all heart. We ride with the Dodgers till the end. Hit that like button if you're fired up and let's keep the conversation going. And remember, in baseball, anything can happen, but the Dodgers? We're built for this. Stay tuned for more bombshells.